Greeting game designers. In this video, we're going to cover how to give text to the player to give him directions on how to play your game. So the first one I'm going to cover is how to create a game objective text. So basically, when the game starts, your player can do a multitude of things, but you want to give him directions on where to go and what to do. So let's go ahead and do that. First, we're going to either right-click on empty space inside the hierarchy, or if you don't have any empty space, just go ahead and go to Game Object, go to UI and Text. Text will automatically be added to the canvas that either you have or don't have, or it'll create it for you. Again, it's getting to the good practice of renaming our objects. We're going to rename this Game Objective Text. Okay. So right now, these are the default settings when you create a text. Let's go and hit play and kind of see what it does. Okay. So if you look real carefully, you'll see that on the lower left of my screen right here, you'll see the word next new text. Okay. Yours might be different than mine. It just depends on if you already have a canvas. Okay. But we're going to actually go ahead and do the adjustments now. So by default, the text that you create will be anchored to the middle of your screen. But because I have numbers here, it's going to push it to the lower left. So negative 544 means 544 pixels to the left, and negative 233 means negative 233 pixels down, which is why my text started to appear here. What I'm going to do now is just go ahead and zero it out. And you'll see now that my text will appear smack in the middle of my screen. Okay. Now, obviously, let's go ahead and change this. So you want something along the lines of game objective. So something like to complete the level, make your way to the bomb shelter in the back of the map. So in my example, there's a kind of a bomb shelter in the back over here, and that's kind of like the end of the game. So that's why I'm kind of telling my player to head there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a quick check and see if our text appears. Okay, now you can see that my text does not appear the way that I intended. It only says game objective make. The reason is we control the width and the height of our text. So I'm just going to go to something large like 1,000 pixels, and let's say a height of, I don't know, 100 pixels. And these numbers, limit how much the text will appear. Now, in my case, I really don't care because the text will disappear later on anyway. I'm going to do now is go ahead and increase the size of my font. I'm going to increase it to, let's say, I think the lowest or the smallest text should appear is size 20. And I'm going to align it in the middle of the screen. So it's going to show up in the middle, aligned in the middle. And I'm actually going to change the color. I don't really like black as a color for directions. I'm going to go with a kind of a bright green color here. And let's go ahead and hit play and see what happens. Game objective. Make your way to the bomb shelter in the back of the map. Okay. So now I've given directions for my player to know where to head. Now, unfortunately, this text stays here forever because we haven't told it to disappear. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to do that real quickly. So, when a text object is created, it will appear and be activated at the beginning of the game. But we want an opportunity to deactivate it. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to add a component, and you're going to type in timed, T-I-M-E-D. So there's a script called time object activator. Okay, time object activator. Now this script, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was given to us in either standard assets or collision propagators by ItchyOwl. I'm actually going to do a quick check. So I typed in the word timed, and you can see here time object activator, and it's actually inside standard assets. So as long as you have standard assets, you will have this script called timed object activator. Now this is how you use this script. You click add, and in the add, you're going to say, when this object is activated, what do you want to do? you want to activate, deactivate, destroy, reload, or call? And when do you want this to happen? So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to deactivate this game object, this game objective text, and I want it to happen in, let's say, 10 seconds. Okay, so when the game starts, start counting, deactivate the game objective text in about 10 seconds. So let's go and hit play. So my objective shows up, and let's see in about 10 seconds if it disappears. Yeah, and it disappears. So that's it. I mean, that's how we make a game objective to kind of tell the player what to do when the game starts. Now, likewise, let's go ahead and show you guys how you can show when the game is over. So, on the back here, I have kind of a bomb shelter that I created. It's a roof structure. And let's see if I gave this roof structure, it's made up of it's basically a cube. Did I give it a box cutter? Yes, I did. So let's go ahead and redo this so that you guys know what to do. I'm going to kind of remove these components and do it kind of from scratch. Okay. So when you have a Pro Builder object, in this case I have two objects. I have a roof and a structure. You can go ahead and add it might already have mesh collider there. The player can actually touch it. I'm going to click on convex and is trigger. Actually, no, I take that back. I don't want to do a mesh collider. I don't want the player to touch the mesh for the game to end. Let's say I want to add a box collider. Say that if the player enters this bomb shelter, the game ends. So I'm going to go to add component, type in BOX, and make a box collider. So when you click on the box collider, it kind of basically makes a box that can fit all of the space. Maybe I don't want the player to touch the top of this thing and be able to end the game. So I'm just going to edit the box collider real quickly by clicking on edit box collider. And I'm just going to push this face down. Okay. So basically now my box collider is inside this structure. So if my player makes it inside here, the game ends. Okay. So I'm going to, again, turn this box collider into a trigger. And what do I want to trigger? Well, I want to trigger the activation of text. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a component. And what do I want to add? I want to add basically the ItchyOwl propagators. So remember in our previous lesson, we talked about how ItchyOwl has a collision propagator under scripts, implementation, 3D, Unity event, and one called trigger enter propagator. So basically when the player enters this box, we want it to activate this script. So let's go and go back to my roof structure. So again, I have this box collider that throws a trigger, and now it's going to trigger what? I basically want it to trigger this script. Now this script, you can control the user layer mask. So basically our player should be inside a layer called my player layer. And that means even if other things collide with this box collider, it won't activate. It will only activate if someone or something from the my player layer enters this box. So we turn this on, and we're going to actually go ahead and create a text right now. So we're going to go to game object. We're going to create another UI text, and we're going to call it something like end of the game or something, right? So we'll say level complete text. Okay, and we're going to go in here and we're going to do the same thing. So it's going to be positioned at 0, 0. Let's go ahead and just increase the width of the text real quickly to make sure it fits the text that we want. Let's just make something simple and let's just say level complete. Okay, and I'm going to make the text bigger. Let's go ahead and center it to make sure it's centered on the screen. And let's go ahead and change the color real quick. I'll go, I don't know, just make it different. Let's go blue color. And that's it. So let's go ahead and hit play and see if that works, that our level complete. You can see right now it's kind of overlapping with my game objective. And let's go ahead and just wait the extra 7 seconds or so for the game objective to disappear. Right? So basically my goal is to say level complete only when the player enters my end game trigger box. But that's not the case right now. Right now, it's just showing up at the beginning of the game. So I'm going to deactivate it. So I'm going to deactivate the level complete text, right? Because it's not supposed to show up at the beginning of the game. But what's going to happen is that when someone enters my end game trigger box, it's going to activate that text. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and click on back to my my roof structured that has the box collider, and we're going to say, hey, when this thing happens, I want it to one shot. I mean, do it one time. Add the level complete text here. So basically, remember how triggers work. When I throw a trigger, I need to throw at something. I'm going to throw it to my level complete text, and I'm going to give it a function. Hey, level complete text. When the trigger happens, I want you to become active. So game object set active, and click this button right here, meaning to enable it. So as soon as I enter this box, my level complete text will turn on. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit play, and let's see if that is the case. So I have a game objective: make your way to the bomb shelter. Okay, my bridge is gonna come down. I'm gonna make my way to the other side. Another way I can do that is to jump on this platform here, or this platform here. Okay. And again, my level is not the best, but you guys get the idea. Okay. I'm gonna wait for this platform to come down. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on the platform. And level complete, right? So the idea again is that when your player completes the level, you should give the player some type of text to let him know that the level is over. Okay, so I don't know, maybe I'll just go and update the size of my text. Maybe 20 is not big enough for the end of the game. I don't know, let's go like 40 or something. Okay, make sure it's nice and big, and make sure my height is big enough to support it. And that's it. That kind of completes the most important game messages that you need to give to your player, is what to do at the beginning of the game and what to do at the end of the game. Okay, that completes this video.